Don't you need this close to you to like answer comments?
No, because I don't have to type in there. I can just talk. You can pull it closer. Hello. Someone joined us.
So,
hello, people in the internet. Hopefully, everything is sounding good, looking good. No one anymore. So, we have a pretty exciting day.
I haven't poured my beer yet.
Yeah, we're both drinking more brewery beer. I'm drinking this Take One Down. It's a limited German style Pilsner. 5.1. It's kind of a hoppy Pilsner.
Hillbilly Piper, hi. This is a Doppelbock. That's the kind that I like.
It's pretty good. I don't like the Bock beers as much as.
I hope people are impressed with how I poured that. It's pretty perfect.
I tried to practice my golf swing today, and not having played golf for like 3 years, maybe, hasn't improved.
Weird.
Hasn't improved.
Same old Bud. Nothing wrong with Budweiser. That's what we always say.
But really warm here and humid.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that. I like what's summer if you're not sweating. It's kind of my motto. But then again, I have an air-conditioned home to go to, and I work in air-conditioned building, so it's easy for me to say, "Oh yeah, I like going outside when it's hot."
I like sweating when I'm ready to sweat. I don't like unexpected sweating.
Hi, everyone. Hillbilly Piper, Pipe Philosophy, and Smoking Sayed.
Greetings.
Did you grow up? Did you always have air conditioning in your home?
As far as I can remember.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if that got added later or something. It's not that old of a home, I guess.
No, 80s.
Well, my house in Nebraska did not have air conditioning, so I can completely sympathize with people who do not have air conditioning. But cold beer, hot day, they certainly go together well.
I feel like I should have gone with a lager. This feels a little heavy for how much I'm sweating. Oops.
Anyway, we got to hang out with the 2 kids that we helped foster.
Yeah, the 2 kids who were living with us for like 2 years.
Today.
And we haven't seen them. I saw them in April, but Steve hasn't seen them since maybe January of last year.
Wow. Yeah.
So.
Wait, January last year? No, that's been some more recently.
Maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah, there was another time. But it's kind of funny because their whole home life is a little bit different than ours. So these little kids were throwing some F-bombs and stuff.
They didn't pick that up when they were living with us.
No. But
it's just so funny that when it pops out of their mouth, like I just laugh because it's hilarious.
Because they're like how old now?
They're 5 and 4.
5 and 4.
But they're just still like babies to me, you know.
Yeah.
Still like my babies.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, it's winter in South Africa.
Sorry if someone else is live. I didn't even pay attention to that. I don't think people do lives on Sunday nights, but yeah, otherwise busy week. You're gonna go to your parents tomorrow to help prepare a house. My family's all visiting her house, and it's gonna be should be nice again still. So we'll be able to use the pool.
Yeah.
The pool's probably gonna be hot. It's gonna be warm.
That's true. It's probably gonna be.
It'll feel good. It'll feel so good. I'm gonna totally swim. I don't always swim when I'm there, but
you are not back to smoking yet, right?
No. ENA's dad. Welcome. No, I don't. I think my tongue to being completely healed will take a while because it's just such a slow process. It's like a glacier moving. So once that all heals back 100%, then I might try smoking and see how irritating that is. Largely, I was kind of hoping some medication I received would help. And sorry if the lawnmower neighbor, if you can hear all that. But that didn't. It did help, but not hardly enough. So, and then things kind of just progressed to be more and more irritating. So, anyway, won't be smoking for a while now, but I don't know that that means never.
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi, ooh, yeah, of all the like warm places, don't they call that like the armpit of America? It's just hot.
The air
hot and
is
humid.
Just hot soup. Mm-hmm.
Rinky Dink, welcome. Well, what else we been doing? We kind of been watching some TV, not too much. Guess the Olympics will be starting soon, and I really like watching the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like the 27th or something like that. I enjoy track and field the most. I also enjoy watching volleyball a lot. Swimming is great. What do you like?
I think I like what they tell me to like, because they always highly promote some things, and then I'm like, sure, I'll be invested in whatever you highly promote, like if it's a swimmer or if it's a gymnast or something. So I feel like I'm obviously invested in Simone Biles because they are just heavily promoting her journey.
Yeah, we do. She is an elite athlete, so you do want to see how they're going to perform and all that.
Yeah, I think that's the record-breaking cool things that the gymnasts are doing. Like they're sending 2 all-around gold medalists back to the Olympics, so I think that'll be fun to watch.
They're ancient at 28 and I said 26. Yeah, I just can't imagine having so much pressure on me at such a young age.
Steve, are you fancy when you drink?
I don't know. I think my glass is all wet and cold and my pinky is too sensitive. It's not tea though. So how would I rate this beer? Well, right now, it tastes good. It's a little more hoppy bitter than something I would want to drink on the regular, you know. But I've kind of grown into appreciating and wanting sometimes to taste like hop bitterness, and some of them I just like better than others. I mean, there's so many different hops, but this one is it's tasty. It's tasty. It's light. It's crisp. I mean, it's like a Pilsner is supposed to be. But I would say the bitterness does not like go away. It is there, and it's kind of for a Pilsner. It's pretty forward, and yeah, and that's for the people who didn't see. That's this More Brewing. Take One Down. This is out of Chicago, a brewery. Yours is so creamy. Wow. You have the double bock. If you can't comment, it's because you have to be a subscriber for like 20 minutes. So I guess you guys are all subscribers. Oh. I figured that was the best way to prevent being spammed and not having someone there to facilitate. Hey, Bob. And Dave, Central Cal Piper. Yeah. What else is going on? We need to see one more baseball game. And we're going to the Twins Brewers game next Saturday. So that's exciting.
Yeah, in Minneapolis.
It's a great stadium. It's very pretty. The Brewers are playing good. I think the Twins are playing pretty good too. So it should be a fun game. I don't know. It's my way of splurging. Baseball games aren't crazy, ridiculous, expensive, but at the same time, I mean, they're like $10 beers or whatever.
Yeah, you buy the tickets enough in advance that when you get there, you're like, oh, forget about what we paid, like, get what you want. It's just kind of like, that was last year us that paid for this game. This is this year us.
Yeah. Well, I think, with some of those things, it's an experience and you want to enjoy it. So you kind of just, like, in your mind, book out how much this is going to realistically cost. And then it just makes it easier to, like, pay for this outrageously expensive stuff going, nope, this is all what I expected. I'm either okay with it or I'm not. So,
yeah.
Adam tried the Liney's cherry summer flavor. That must be one of they're like
the
summer
Lakeside
shandies.
Cherry. I haven't tried that.
I don't do the shandies from Lining Cools. I know that like nationally that's like all that gets put out. Because they're too sweet for me. But I do like they have like a Vienna lager called the Northwoods lager, I think is what it's called. I like that one. That one's a tasty beer. Some of their dark beers I'm okay with. The Oktoberfest I really like. We drink that.
I feel like any Lining Kugel's beer, if you gave it to me, I wouldn't be like, gross.
Yeah, they're all fine. They're all good.
I'd be fine with it.
But they do have like cool experimental beers at the brewery that you can like try. And it's kind of nowadays, I don't know, I feel like stores carry more and more and more different beers. And so inevitably there's like old beers sitting on the shelf everywhere. And some stuff just doesn't turn over. So you really have to start checking your dates on your beer. And I feel like the Lining Kugels turns over really fast and all of it's straight from the factory. So it's all super fresh. So I think that's the biggest advantage to the Lining Kugels here is that it turns over. Otherwise, we like in the Nuclearis stuff too, because that's the exact same sort of thing, where that's a Wisconsin only brewery. They only sell their beer in Wisconsin and everyone likes it. Yeah, it's good.
Pomo. Get your jobs done. Yeah, Leinenkugel's tap room, they'll like mix a couple of beers for you and turn it into a new beer. And one of our favorite breweries, when we had a friend bartending, and I was like, just give me, like, if anyone was a kid in the 80s and 90s, like I was, with fountain drinks, you could do a suicide where you mix them all together on the tap fountain drinks. And so I was like, give me a suicide at the brewery. And he was like, gross. But he gave me a couple of every beer, and I tried it, and it just tasted like a stout because that was forward.
Yeah.
But our favorite brewery had closed last year and now just reopened in Eau Claire. So that's big news for us.
Yeah, they're called Modicum, and they make really good beer. So that was super exciting. It's also heartbreaking because they were. So what happened was they're moving locations. A couple. Was it just last year?
Yeah.
Just last year.
Mm-hmm.
And things fell through because construction and whatever, and the guy just decided to liquidate his company because he was going to be stuck without a location.
They got a bad
and he had all this beer set to launch a new location, all this. So he just had to like liquidate everything, and that was going to be closer to us in location than where he ended up. He ended up there was a brewery where someone was retiring, and so he took it over and is changing it from the previous brand to his brand, which they were both like small town, no name breweries, you know. But he makes a lot of beers that we really like, which are like he has a Belgian single on right now. Mm-hmm. He's got
a Scottish ale
that you like. They have this very pale ale that I really like. Mm-hmm. So
it's like the styles of beer he does them very well.
Yeah, I really like them.
So we're glad that he's back.
But we have a place local that we go to a lot, and we went to there yesterday with some friends, and we lured them into a game with some beer. So we played what's it called? Crew, the
Crew.
deep sea mission. No, it was the space one. Mission Outer Space. I don't know. It's a trick-taking card game that's cooperative. It's a lot of fun. They had a good time playing the game, even though they don't play games. So it's always my goal. Try to get people to have fun. And sometimes with non-gamers, it's a little bit tricky trying to figure out what sort of games they like.
Yeah, that game's a crowd pleaser. The Crew. I feel like anybody can play it. Even if they're bad, you can still participate. You might bring everybody down, but like I still have fun.
Yeah. We should turn on that light at some point. I don't know. I think they go smoothly because I'm a good teacher. So I can teach people these games, and I don't give them more information than they need to know, and not too much. So I think if someone just picked up the game, it could be a pretty frustrating experience trying to learn it from a rule book. But
Best Belt Pipes is your best friend.
Whoa. Week-long board game retreat? That sounds awesome.
It's like, wait a second. Where is this?
I'm actually doing a... so I went to a board game convention in May, and that was awesome. And I'm going to another one now in November. And the one in November is kind of funny because there's like this one game where it's like a system. So think of it kind of like it's chess, but there's different like board layouts. So you're playing chess on different board layouts. Well, this one's about like trains, and you're trying to like build tracks to different towns and move goods. But every single map is different. It has different rules, and the whole game convention is just playing this one game on the. I think there's like 100 different maps. Yeah, so there's more than you could play in 4 days worth of maps.
Yeah.
It's called Age of Steam for those actually curious. But
Is Tom going to that too?
yeah, so I'll go with a friend. They're always good. And the other convention that I went to, a lot of the guys from that convention that I'm kind of like loosely friends with are going, so it'll be cool to see those guys again. But yep, I guess tomorrow's gonna be Monday, huh?
Yeah.
My board game nights are on Mondays, so I think that's a silver lining on every single Monday. It's like board games, yes, which turn like the worst day to like the best day. So I'll have to figure out what game we're gonna play.
I took the next 2 weeks of work off, so I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Well, Age of Steam is not an 18xx railroad game, but there is a convention for that in Iowa.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Those 18xx games do take a long time.
Yeah, I think most of them are like a minimum of 5-hour long games, which to the average person, they go, that's insane. And I go, and just like a single NFL game is like 3.5 hours. I mean,
you concentrate the whole time. Steve, have you ever played Risk? Type Philosophy wants to know.
Yes, I have. Not recently. I played Risk when I was younger.
Yeah.
Plenty of getting angry at the dice in that game. There's actually a game called Risk Legacy that I would be really curious to play, but it's not going to happen. Not doing it. I do have a game that I think would replace Risk definitely for me, but most people. And I need to get some people to play this game. I bought it. I played it twice at other places, and I bought it, and I've yet to play it. I think it's called Vikings 878, and it's the Vikings invading England. And so you play in two pairs of, so 4 people, and 2 people are 2 different groups of England, and then the other's 2 groups of Vikings or whatever. And the game has always done a really good job of being pretty flip-floppy, where you're like, man, we're just getting destroyed. There's no way we're going to win the game. And then pretty soon you're like doing good, and you're like, holy smokes, we got them on the run, and then it can flip back and forth and stuff. But the company that makes that game is pretty interesting. They're called Academy Games, and they try to make a lot of games that are like historical representations of like what actually happened, so they're historically accurate. I think they talking to the publisher that they actually make board games for like the military so that they can train.
What?
Yeah, because like some of their games are like close combat, like squads, and so it's a little bit easier to like visualize what your job is in a squad if you're like seeing kind of the big picture of it. And so you have different turns, and you're trying to maneuver out these bad guys, so it helps people visualize. Or you can do bigger and control armies.
I'm just picturing you being like, I would have joined the military if I knew they played board games. And Like Root? Is the Vikings name like Root?
Uh,
You haven't played Star Wars Rebellion.
no, I haven't. That's a two-player like Star Wars game. In general, why did I say in generally? In general, I am avoiding playing anything with an IP. So that's like owned content by our whatever. What does that stand for? IP. Property. Intellectual property. So, Star Wars, whenever that's slapped in a game, it goes down the list because it just means they're putting Star Wars on the game to like sell a bazillion copies. Now, granted, it might be good, but I also don't care about Star Wars, and I don't hardly play any two-player games, so double whammy.
Double negative.
Sort of asymmetrical, like Root or Star Wars for now. Yeah. No, this is not the Vikings 878 is not asymmetrical like any of those. But you do have like cards that you're holding and you're playing, and you can really flip things on their head by when you timing cards correctly. But a lot of it is rolling dice. But the Vikings have like the Berserker Vikings, which like because your dice are like special dice, so they have like hits on some sides, and the Berserker dice like have way more chance to hit because they're crazy Viking guys. But
he's with you. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sam, doing it wrong. We should invite Sam over to swim in our pool.
Oh, is Bloomington? Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam, come on over next week.
Or, hey, Sam, do you want some Twins Brewers tickets next Saturday? We got 3 that we're trying to sell. So basically, it was cheaper to buy group tickets to the baseball game, but barely. And now we have 3 tickets that no one's using because we just bought group rate. And you have to buy a minimum. You have to buy a minimum of 20, and we only have 17 people going. So we just decided to buy the 20 and see if we could get rid of the other tickets. But so if you're interested, let me know. Also, no one took me up on the free Vegas ticket. I made the mistake, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to go ask Brian for my money back. I'll just view it as a donation. But then I was like, well, maybe someone else in the Y2PC is going to go and hasn't bought a ticket yet. So if that's you, let me know.
Vegas 2024.
This year, yeah. It's October something, I think. Yeah.
I feel like we have an audience. This rabbit just keeps looking up and being like, listening to us. Is just out in the yard eating clovers.
We have so many rabbits. So, like, we're kind of like in a sandy area. So there's like no topsoil and then sand. And everybody's yard is just green as can be, which is so rare this time of year because of the sand. But we've just gotten so much rain, consistent, nonstop. So obviously, everybody's mad at the rain. The farmers were mad because they could never get into the fields to even plant. And then when they could get into the fields, half of the crops just like didn't take off because it was just so wet. And then construction work, trying to do roofs or other stuff with all the rain, pain. But for me, I love it. I love the rain. I love having a green yard, not having to worry about that.
The flowers look so good.
Not spent any money. on watering our
Water?
lawn. I try to do it just enough to keep the weeds at bay, keep the grass good enough that the weeds don't come in and just take over the lawn. But yeah, well, how long have we been going? 30 minutes? It's a long time. Sorry, you guys. Sorry, 6 souls. You got a lot of monarchs. I've not seen a single butterfly.
I saw a yellow butterfly today that
Oh, really?
looks like a monarch, but it was yellow, so it wasn't. Don't know what it was.
I've seen some hummingbirds, I think. We have a lot of flowers on the front of our house, so sometimes you can catch them.
Yeah, we usually get them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
we're gonna get 2 kittens. Pretty sure. I'm very excited, but scared.
I don't know. Let's see. It's not my thing. I am not a willing participant. I am just co-resident.
No.
With cat
You kept
adopter.
saying we should get a cat. If you're gonna get a pet, get a cat.
No. I just tried to say we don't want a dog.
Somebody already has an entire litter. I'm trying to take them all. Steve says no. A dog. Dogs are so much worse.
I know. I said I didn't want to get a dog.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't allow you any freedom to travel, like, at all.
I really like dogs, and I've never had a cat, so I'm trying to get on board with the cat. I'm excited to get a pet because all the kids want a pet. And then I've read that cats like friends, so we're going to get brother and sister, or maybe it's 2 brothers. I'm not sure yet.
Just see dollar signs.
For a veterinarian.
All the things. The food. All the things. I do kind of want to build something to help, like, the cat go up and be up really high, and us being cool where the cat's going. So he can be up there looking down, because cats seem to really like that. Mm-hmm. And it would be helpful if the cat stayed off our stuff. Mm-hmm. And if it's his stuff, then it's fine.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Litter engineer.
Probably. Steve's the one who's had a cat. I've never had a cat.
Yeah, sure. I've only had bad cats. One cat was horrible. It was named Captain Vegetable. Didn't want a short enough name. You could say it real fast. It'd be Captain Vegetable. No, we just called it Kitty, but technically its name was Captain Vegetable. And that cat was just mean, nasty.
Was it mean to you though?
Yes.
It was mean to you.
Well, it wouldn't.
You just knew the story.
There is not a moment that cat sat in my lap.
No.
It was not a moment that cat went up and rubbed against my leg. No, that was not happening. Maybe I went over and scratched its head or something. Has it biting me? Yes. Would it sleep in my bed? Sometimes.
Oh.
Sometimes it would. But I think it's just because during the winter our house was really cold and I was warm.
It's like just trying to survive.
It's just trying to survive. But it had long hair, and the hair would kind of get tangly.
Oh, poor cat. I've heard with cats, like, they have a main human that they rely on, and then the rest are spares. And they'll be nice to the main human. Like, it was nice to your mom. The rest of you are spares. It doesn't care about you.
Might be. I mean, my mom was stay at home, so it makes more sense. She was nice to my mom. She was not nice to us, but But she was declawed. So maybe she was mad because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But she was killer. She would kill the birds. She would kill all kinds of things. Because she was in-store, outdoor cat. So she was stealthy ninja. Eventually we just got rid of the cat because she was horrible. And by get rid of her, I think my dad just took her out to the forest where she lived the remainder of her days as forest cat. Which
So
he
happy
claims
up
he
here.
saw her like 2 years later in a tree. So if you can survive 2 years in the forest you without any claws, you're pretty badass.
Mm.
Yep. Anyway, any other questions you guys have there? Otherwise, I don't know. We might have to call it for lack of entertaining content.
Right.
Do we have any other entertaining content? Whoa. You may foster a pregnant cat.
That's why you're saying you could get a cemetery later. Oh, jeez.
Fostering into ownership of lots of cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully our cats will not get pregnant. That will be a goal, actually.
I don't know anything about cats. I'm nervous.
What do you know about?
What do I know about cats?
No, about animals. Which animal were you like, I would be super comfortable with this animal?
I feel like dogs are easy. I had a
No,
dog.
not that easy. I just feel like you don't want to know anything about any.
Wow. Middle of the Gulf of Mexico.
Pilgrim Piper. Mexico.
I just feel like dogs are more attached to you. Cats are like, I don't care.
Yeah, that's why you can go travel. Where dogs, you're like, good luck trying to travel.
And like you can let the dogs out to go to the bathroom and they'll be like, I want to come back in because this is my family, this is my home.
Yeah, but then they like kill your lawn, peeing and pooping on it, and hey, everyone, you can love your pet a lot, but man, do I hate it when everyone brings their pet with them wherever they go, because inevitably those pets don't like behave great, and so many people don't know how to train their pets. So
that's a big thing with the breweries is breweries try to be like dog friendly, and then people bring their dogs, and some of those dogs are not well behaved, and it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was coming to the Humane Society. Why are you all barking?
Yeah. No, it's horrible. That is the worst, is a place where I can go in, that's a business, and then they're like, just, oh yeah, bring your pet in here too. It's like, oh my gosh. Which obviously certain people just go, hey, I'll go there because I can bring my pet. But I'm more like I will not go there because you can bring your pet. And I just don't want to see two dogs fight or bark or smell nasty next to me while I'm trying to consume a beverage. Oh, it's awkward. And they're just being pets, it's not the dog's fault.
That was one of the weirdest things a few weeks ago. Then we went to one of our favorite places, and it's not a brewery, it's like a bar restaurant. And someone brought a dog in on the leash, and it is like a legit restaurant. So we were all just like, what?
You
can't bring a dog in here. And so someone, a like regular patron who's also a bartender, was like, oh, you can't bring your dog in here. you can't bring your dog inside or something. And she was like, we're outside. And then we're all like, what? No, we're not. And he was like, oh, I just thought maybe you didn't know that you couldn't bring your dog in here because like of the health code. And then she was like, clearly, like, you don't like
I know
dogs.
the codes.
You
You
don't
can
like
be
dogs.
here. Or
And he
something.
was like, no, I like dogs. And she was like, clearly you don't.
She was pretty upset. But they did go outside, thankfully. But it was still. Yeah.
Gave us lots of entertainment. Like, are we inside? Are we outside? Are you a dog eater?
Well, and then you have all the people that try to pretend that their dog is the service animal when they're not. It's like, it's service
That's
animal.
wild.
And it's like, what's the service they're providing? Obviously certain pets are completely necessary as service. Not necessary. They are
Providing a service.
providing a service which the owner needs help with. But the times that I see the pets in places, I feel like they're not allowed, that they're actually doing that. Not so much. Anyway, well, I didn't see any questions, so I think we're going to call it. It's great seeing the various people who popped in. Appreciate it. All the other people are going, why couldn't I chat? You need to be a subscriber to chat. And I think that's it. Do you have anything else?
My dog was my best friend too. I loved my dog. I'm just scared of the dependence that a dog brings now. Now that I have 4 kids.
And they're expensive. Like, I have 4 kids. I don't need a 5th.
So I want a cat who will not really need me.
Send it to doggy school and all that. All right.
Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in.
If we can figure out how to stop this. There we go.
Mm-hmm.